Nigerians, they are not interested in political party. That's why when Peter Obi joined Labour Party, they followed him there. They just believe in people. So when the government is doing the right thing, I bet you Nigerians, even in other opposition party, will vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But they are not feeling the impact of the government. What Nigerians care about is that he bought a mudu of rice, 300 naira last month. This month he went back, he bought it 150. That's what they want to know. That he bought fuel for his car, 800 naira last 2 weeks. He went there 2 weeks after, he bought it at 500 naira. They will now say, hey, things are changing. They want to feel it. They are not feeling anything government is saying. Now, you say, oh, the government is doing their best for security. The question is, for the past 1 week, how many kidnapping took place? How many communities were laid and attacked? That is the question. That's how you measure yourself. If you are saying your investment in security is working, the number of attacks should be dropping. The number of kidnappings should be dropping. The number of bandits arrested, killed should be increasing. That's the way you to show people that the result is happening. When you say, oh, inflation has come down to this, what is the price of products? When you go to the store, that's where you know, has it dropped or not? That's what government should focus on. See how the macro will link to the micro. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. The Nigerian political space is getting, kind of toxic, the way it is today. And you recall that even the election, the campaign has not even started, So people are just kind of trying to defect from one party to the other and, kind of trying to have some political gathering to sensitize the people of the agenda of their political parties and stuff like that. So this is like the preliminary part of preparation for the main general election that will be coming up in February 2027. So a few days ago, we got the report, that Mr. Peter Obi, who was the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, escaped assassination attempt. And this happened in Edo State when Olumide Apata, who was, the former gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Edo State, was trying to defect from Labour Party to join the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. So why they were gathered in Edo State, according to what Olumide Apata said on Channels TV, he said they got intel from a reliable source that some hoodlums are gathering and they are coming to the venue where they are doing the defection activity to attack them at the venue. So quickly they rushed through the program and then they left the venue and headed to Odige Oyegu's house. Remember, Odige Oyegu was a former APC chairman. He was a member of the APC before. So while they were in his house, the hoodlums stormed the venue, attacked the people, attacked everything they saw there, and also, even went towards Oyegu's house. And then we saw, bullet shots on the gate, and the series of vehicles that were destroyed. We had that, some people were also injured and all that. So it has been like the norm, in terms of once opposition parties gather together to do their political business, hoodlums will come to attack them. But when APC is gathered, nobody attacks the APC gathering. So many people are beginning to question what exactly is going on. Do they want to also stifle opposition parties? Do they also want to, truncate any activity the opposition parties are doing? No, we have case studies when it comes to issue of attacking, gathering of the ADC. The former gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Lagos State, Badevo Viva, was also trying to defect from Labour Party to ADC in Lagos State, and the venue was attacked. Vehicles were destroyed. Even her own sister was also attacked on that fateful day. And they also even tried to deny him the venue he has paid for. But he has a plan B, he has a second venue. So they quickly moved to the second venue to host the event. So when you look at all of that, it happened in Kaduna State. I recall El-Rufai was trying to sensitize his people that he has moved to the ADC and for them to, be able to follow suit. In that gathering, they were also attacked in Kaduna State and now in Edo State. And some people are pointing accusing fingers, to the office of the governor in Edo State because in a previous gathering, he stated it emphatically that he's warning Peter Obi that if he's coming to Edo State, he must inform him ahead of time. Otherwise, whatever he sees, he takes. And based on that comment, like they said, when a witch, cries at night and the baby dies by the morning, you have to hold the witch accountable. So that's why many people are pointing accusing fingers, to the Edo State government. But nobody knows who and who, sent them. But we don't know what's going on. But I think with time, we're going to figure it out. But my problem with this country, Nigeria, is that after all this stuff, nobody will be held accountable. No investigation will be conducted. Even when an investigation is conducted, you will never hear who and who was responsible. And nobody will get caught. It happened in the U.S., the build-up of, the 2024 general election in the United States when the incumbent president now, then, candidate of the Republican Party, was shot, at a rally, in Philadelphia. So, and even after that, another attempt was made on his life, and stuff like that. But at least people were apprehended. The one in Philadelphia was killed in Butler, and the second attempt, the person was also arrested. So, but in our case, nobody will be arrested. Nobody will be, taken down. That is the problem that we have. And that is why tomorrow another attack is going to happen until they take the life of somebody. And even if they do, nothing will say happen. So I don't know the kind of system or the kind of security architecture that we have, in that country, that the human life does not, count. That's exactly what it is. So having, said all of that, I think the opposition, party, I think they need to kind of develop that strategy on how to navigate, the bottlenecks on their way, to even start the campaign, that will be coming up down the line the year, and also for the general election. So we saw what happened in Amak, how the election played out, and the opposition party did not show any bite. It's just only PDP that won a seat, in that election, while the APC clinched 5 out of the 6 area councils election. And the opposition party is crying foul that a lot of things went down the drain. That's how they were scheming out. So I don't know how they're going to do that and how they're going to kind of breach those kind of things they said happened in the FCT election, not to happen in the main general election. So guys, the focus I have today is looking at what the opposition party said in one of their gatherings a few days ago, and then we'll be able to look at what they said and dissect it a little bit, and then we'll wrap up this video. So, but before I step into that, guys, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. Thank you for those who are supporting this channel. All right. So let's take a deep dive into what transpired a few days ago by the opposition parties. There was a gathering of these parties, a whole lot of the top shots in the ADC. You have David Mark, you have Atiku Abubakar, you have Peter Obi, you have Rotimi Amaechi, you have Buba Galadima, and the rest of other people, even for some from other opposition parties like the NMPP. So they gathered, a few days ago, and they were kind of, talking, after the chairman has given his speech, and I think they were called upon to give, their closing remarks, as the case may be. So, but what got my attention is the things that was said by, Rotimi Amaechi, Peter Obi, and Atiku Abubakar, and the rest of them. But today I'm going to focus on just these two, people, Rotimi Amaechi and Peter Obi. But I think it will be quite, better if we take a look at, this video to hear what they said, and then we can come back and then be able to, add more flesh to what they just said. All right, so let's take a look at this video, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
I think, like every other person has said, what needs to be said have been said. But it's critical that we repeat it as often as we can so that Nigerians will know we are together. There's need, very urgent need, for all the opposition parties. Those who are not here today, we're pleading that we all come together to save our dear country. It is critical, it's important. The government we have today, as been said, and continue, is the worst ever in our dear country, Nigeria. Today, there's no governance in Nigeria. The legislative arm is at its worst. The judiciary is no longer hope of the weak or the poor. We all know insecurity, killings and abductions is worse than even countries at war. Just in the past 1 week, 34 in Kebbi, Wednesday, Thursday, 50 in Zamfara on Friday, and today, even while we're speaking, today, over 20 already in Adamawa. 6 is all over the country. I just mentioned a few. Poverty have increased dramatically in the past 2.5 years, from 87 million to about 140 million today, the highest in any country on earth. In fact, we now have almost over 30% of all the world poor living in Nigeria. We now have more people living in Nigeria, a country of 240 million, than China and India, a country of 2.8 billion combined. And that's the critical thing. This government has borrowed more in 2.5 years than all the governments since 1999 without anything to show for it. I heard somebody told me today when I walked in here that the food prices have gone down. Actually, we have killed all our farmers because we have imported cheap goods and thrown our farmers into poverty, which will even worsen the hungry situation of Nigeria in the coming future. Manufacturers' houses are full of warehouses without anything to show for it. So we're in a crisis that everybody have to come together to save the country. And I thank those who have started this journey of our coming together, all the opposition parties. All our appeal is that, yes, we, the masses of Nigeria, have to rise up now because this situation we allowed to continue will take its revenge on all of us and our children tomorrow.
I will spend less minutes than the last speaker. No, because he's done a summary of what I wanted to say. All I wanted to say is that Tinubu is not our problem. The problem is the opposition. We are our own problem. When the opposition is ready, Nigeria will do what? Nigeria will change. The first thing we must know is that we must separate ourselves from the government in power. We must show the difference. I will repeat what I said in one of these conferences. I said to them that when I was in government in Buhari's time, Buhari wanted electoral reform. So a few ministers went to him, convinced him not to sign, that if he signed, Russia will hack the system and impose the wrong president on us. And he refused to sign. The same people are now shouting electoral reform. Tinubu will one day shout for electoral reform. He will. If he doesn't shout, those who are supporting him will do what? Shout for electoral reform. Tinubu is not a problem. You can't say your opposition and then see, watch the government, watch his pattern, watch even his strategy to win the election. His strategy is simple. His pattern is simple. He tries something today, you are weak. He puts something bigger, you are weaker. Which president goes to France to give an award? Or which president goes to France when you are shouting, oh, this man is stealing our money, you're stealing our money to this man, and he still goes to that place. He starts, what will you do? You can do what? The day you show him you can do something, God will bless you.
All right, welcome back. So we heard what Mr. Peter Obi said in that video. He said that Nigeria under Tinubu's administration is the worst administration Nigeria has ever witnessed since democracy began. Do you believe him? Do you agree with him? Do you concur with him? Well, that's up to you to decide. But I think he put up, some points to bring home why he came to that conclusion. And I will mention some of the few points which he said in that video. He talked about insecurity, how, citizens are being kidnapped on a daily basis, how they sweep a school, pack up our children in numbers. In some cases, 300 and something people, in some cases, 50-something people are killed. So many states across the country, in Kwara State, in Benue State, so many states in Nigeria, even in Zamfara. Some people were kidnapped recently, and so on and so forth. So he was able to mention some states, mention even figures of the number of persons who have been, killed or taken by kidnappers. And don't forget that when all these people are kidnapped, after a few days, you hear that government said that, oh, they have recovered, the victims. No arrest, nobody was killed, nothing. The bandits took them, and then they called the bandit, according to what the, special assistant to the president have said, special advisor to the president, has said before in Arise TV, that they called the bandit, and the bandit, returned them, right? So, which means they are hobnobbing with them, that you just call them. People that labor to come in the night and pack over 100 people, transport them, to their hideouts, and you just call them, and they release those girls to you. No ransom was paid, no attack was made on those people that took them, and not. So when you look at the responses of the government in terms of people that are kidnapped and all that, you understand that we are really in a deep problem. And that is why many Nigerians, acknowledge, the United States' ability to support Nigeria in terms of crushing these monsters, because our government is kind of hobnobbing with them. All evidence have shown, that government is complicit in what is going on, because when you look at the issues of hosting meetings with bandits, I've not seen where a whole government sit down with bandits and be hosting meetings, and they come with their guns and every stuff, and all of that. It's only in Nigeria I've seen this kind of thing. happening. And they will come out to deny that, no, government did not pay any ransom and stuff like that. Well, so when they need money, they kidnap school children, knowing that government going to pay because it's going to bring bad image to the government. So it's their strategy. So they understand this whole thing. Why is the government not attacking them? That is the question everybody is asking. So all these things are part of the, what we see, because you can't tell me how hundreds of people are killed, 50 people are killed, 100 people are kidnapped, 300 people are kidnapped, and government is doing nothing, just negotiating and bringing them back after doing whatever they do at the back room with those bandits. So, but our case is, I don't know. I don't really understand what is happening. And these are part of the reasons Peter Obi is telling you that this administration is one of the worst administration. Even during Jonathan, insecurity, started, I think, in 2012 or thereabout, which is part of the reason Jonathan was pushed out of power, thinking that Buhari, the general, will come and arrest the situation. But it never happened. At that time, during Jonathan's administration, insecurity was curtailed in some locations, just the northeast then at that time. You have the Borno, the Yobe, the Adamawa, Gombe, the rest of them. It's contained in some few states at that time during Jonathan's administration. So what we are seeing today is that the thing has, from Buhari's administration, the thing started spreading to Zamfara and the rest of them. And now it has spread almost across the whole country. It has entered the North Central. It has entered, a lot of places. I know there was an attack in Benue at that time during, Buhari's administration, that about 76 people were, massacred in one night. So all these things are there. But today is worse. Now people are being kidnapped from their own homes. Now you can't even travel. During Jonathan, we travel. I go by road, do my jobs, and come back. But now you can't even do all of that because you may be taken on your way to anywhere you are going, and your family will be contacted for ransom. We see a lot of things. We see a lot of videos how they kill people in the bush, how they beat them up and ask them to call their people for ransom. And when all this are happening, the president has already jetted out to France. That is just the funny part of this whole thing. So you cannot, support, what Peter Obi is saying. We haven't seen all these things that I've mentioned, that's going on when it comes to insecurity. So Nigeria has kind of failed when it comes to insecurity. So the paramount responsibility of government is to secure lives and property, and then the welfare of the people. So Nigerians are not secure, and that's why many people are afraid to go home or to travel. And not everybody can afford flights to travel to, their locations. So it's a very big problem. And then Peter, we mentioned the issue of poverty. When you talk about poverty, during Buhari's administration, when things are not even as bad as it is, poverty, I think over 130 million Nigerians were said to be in poverty at that time. So now that things are getting worse, the economy is biting harder, things are very expensive, all the subsidies have been removed, so unemployment, just name it. And now many more Nigerians are now down the line in poverty because they can't even afford basic necessities of life. And that is just one of the big problems that we're talking about. And the postulated in that, video that China and India, their population combined is about 2.8 billion, that Nigeria has more people in poverty than the two countries combined. That's worrisome. Very, very worrisome. So one country, people in poverty in one country is more than people in poverty in two countries with the biggest population in the whole world. Who cares? They don't care. What they care about is what? Politics, politics, politics. As we speak, governance obviously is stalled because everybody is now strategizing for 2027 general election. So all through this year, it's going to be used for politicking and politicking. So little, attention will be given to governance. That's the way it plays out. So anybody that's waiting that government going to do this or do that, well, the person is waiting his time because you're not going to see much. Even budget implementation, you're not going to see much because the resources will be moved and diverted to different, locations. It is now the time to start sponsoring propaganda on social media, and on television as well. That's what they do. So they begin to go. You will soon begin to see old videos of 10 years ago. All kinds of stuff will start coming up on social media because many people have been engaged to do that daily job, just to bring down the opposition. So the fact remains, many people have been asking, why is APC afraid of opposition? Why are they afraid of free, fair, and credible election? That's a big question. I think APC guys, need to put to rest, because when you look at the issue of electoral reform, the role they played, how the senior president played everything and then cornered the whole Nigerians to pass what Nigerians never wanted, and how swiftly the president also signed it into law. So we begin to question what is really happening. Nigerians only demand that the election be held free, fair, transparent, and credible. That's what Nigerians want. Put that clause that will make them believe that this thing was done in the right way. But they refuse. They have to tweak it in such a way to create window for them to be able to still manipulate the election result. And that's why they are pointing fingers on the area councils election held in Abuja, how APC took 5 out of 6 of them. And that is how they were schemed out. So these are the issues that are still on the front burner. So, but if they have done the needful, what Nigerians want, and that day they go in there, since they believe they have popularity, they believe they have people, they believe they have done so much in the past 2-3 years now, right? There's nothing to hide. Then they come out, use what they have, done and campaign, and then citizens will vote for them if they believe that they are much better today than they were, even under, Buhari or Jonathan's administration. It's as simple as that. When a government that is in power is not campaigning based on what they have done, based on their achievements, but they are campaigning based on propaganda, then there's a problem. It means they have not done much. And Peter Obi has his points to come to his conclusion in terms of what he said in that video. And his points are not far-fetched. When you look at, a lot of things he said is what we are witnessing on a daily basis in the country. So Nigerians can, relate to that. It's not something he framed up. No, he mentioned states, mentioned numbers, and so on and so forth. So it's quite terrible that we are in this, quagmire. And then I don't know why, they are kind of trying to stifle the opposition, attacking them when they are gathering, and also trying to, deregister some parties. So when you look at all these things, Peter Obi said in one of his videos that the intention of government is to stop him from contesting 2027 election. That's why any party he joins, they create chaos there or try to disrupt that party. It was a Labour Party, okay, and there was crisis in Labour Party, which many Nigerians believe were fueled by the ruling party, and they did all they could, and even the Supreme Court gave judgment in the favor of the party. And then instead of INEC to uphold what Supreme Court has done and be able to change the leadership of the party based on Supreme Court rulings, they never did that. So when the whole thing continued and Peter Obi saw that these guys are just deliberately doing this to frustrate him for being in that party, so he switched to ADC, African Democratic Congress. Few weeks after he left to join the ADC, although he did not officially resign from the Labour Party, because I didn't see anywhere he officially resigned. He only joined the coalition in ADC. And a few weeks after, Supreme Court, the INEC began to implement what Supreme Court said to resolve that crisis. Why didn't they resolve it when he was still there, marching to INEC with Governor of Abia State and the rest of the team, Nanade Usman and the rest of them? INEC didn't do that until he joined the coalition, and then they resolved the issue, right? Now he's in ADC. What is the next? The government is trying to deregister the same ADC he just joined. Why? Their claim is that ADC and the other parties like the Labour Party, the Zenith Labour Party, and the rest of some other, opposition parties that they have not, won elections and stuff like that. Labour Party has a governor. Labour Party has members of the House of Representatives. In as much as those guys have now come to join the APC, but that's not the problem of the party. They won through that platform, so it's on record that Labour Party has, all those positions. So why are you deregistering them? Because they felt that it's the vehicle that Peter Obi want to use to, go up in his political campaign. So Peter Obi has made this guy that no matter what they do, he must be a candidate of a party. That's the point. So I believe as they are scheming, they are trying to scheme him out, he too is finding his way to remain in the picture. So it's gonna be like a Tom and Jerry, stuff. So, but we're gonna see how he plays out along the line. So, are you deregistering those parties because they didn't win election? Is that what if it's what the law said? That's fine. Why not? They have been there since years without winning any elections. So most of them, why are they not deregistered? So, and why are they still registering more, as the case may be? So I don't know, but we see how those one plays out. Then coming to Rotimi Amaechi, what he said as well, it was like talking about the opposition that Tinubu is not the problem, that is the opposition party. That the day the opposition party wakes up, that's the day the country gonna wake up. I partially agree with him, not totally, because when you say opposition party, in many countries I've seen things have changed. It's not opposition party that did it, it's the citizens. It's not just opposition party. You check Syria, the citizens. You check the Arab Spring those days, is the citizens. So everywhere things have changed, it's always the citizens, basically. Yes, but the opposition party have a role to play, but because it's not every citizen is in the opposition party, right? But when you talk about citizens, it means it cuts across the whole political party, including the ruling party. Because there are many people in the ruling party that don't like what the ruling party is doing. But because they are members of that party, they can't come out to, kind of be too visible because of being attacked and stuff like that. So when changes is about to happen, it is the unity of the citizens who are the oppressed that takes charge of what happens, not just opposition party. But yes, opposition party, if they put their feet on ground and begin to do things they're supposed to do. Then they put the government, the ruling government, on their toes. They put them on the hot seat before they take any decision. They think, what will the opposition do? What will be the reaction of the opposition? So that's the way they'll be thinking. But the way it is today in the country, they don't think about opposition, because to them there is no opposition. When you hear them tell you, oh, APC has 30 governors, APC has this, APC has that, they are telling you there's no opposition. They are just telling you that whatever they say stands. And when you listen to the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, if you listen to how he talks, he tells you he doesn't appreciate even the citizens or anybody. He appreciates themselves who are in power. Look at what happened in the electoral reform stuff. If you listen to what he said to the media, after that, he said that lawmaking is not noise making. That it's not about citizens making noise or tweeting and talking this thing. That lawmaking is not noise. So to him, when you are saying we want the electronic transmission of results in real time from the polling center, to them it is noise. You are making noise. You are not making point. You are not making sense to them. You are noise making. But whatever they are doing is the one that they believe is the main thing. Whereas when you just oppose the whole thing, you discover that they are the ones who are out of touch. That is the issue. But they don't believe they're out of touch. If you listen to President when they signed the bill into law, you heard what he was saying. Oh, that on that day you interface the people, not the machine. Because network problem. Because that's what he has been fed. And when he says he's a true Democrat, they call him he's a true Democrat. He fought them for democracy. He do this, he do that. And when you look at what the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, you keep questioning what people are saying about him. So where are they getting all those narratives? But they will come out and tell Nigerians that they just sent 30 billion naira to indigent Nigeria through conditional cash transfer. How did they get the money if you are talking about network? How did the money get to them from the bank? So these are problems. When people are doing what is wrong, they will foolishly look for one excuse, to kind of justify what they are trying to do. So you can't be telling us about the network. The system itself is not even designed that it must only operate on network. It operates on and offline, both ways. So it has nothing to do with network. So they intentionally did not want to do the right thing because they want to rig the election. That's just what it is. You have power. You have the whole governors, almost all the governors. You have all the structure, right? So why are you afraid of putting the clause that will guarantee Nigerians that there will be free, fair, credible election? That is the question everybody is asking. And they have not answered that. And you say you are representing the people, but you are not doing what the people want you to do. You are doing what you want to do. So I'm actually blame the opposition. The opposition is weak. I agree with him. There is weak opposition. Opposition is not about coming to hold press conference. It's not about coming to tweet. It's about being on the street. Everybody has right to protest when things are not, going the way citizen wants it to be. But this opposition, the article tweets from his handle, Peter Obi tweets, Peter Obi does press conference, or if there's any further, he talks, and that's it. He has been, even Peter Obi has been the most vocal among all of them in that ADC. So even the chairman, you hardly hear him. It is the publicity secretary of the ADC that at times you see him in TV station, come and talk. And that's it. Opposition is not coming to talk. Nobody cares about what we are saying. They don't want to listen to what we are saying. But it's when you take over the street and begin to do, not disruptively, but patriotically, you are doing, protest marching, people are seeing it, the world is seeing what is going on, then they will wake up, they'll be on their toes. They will know if we say this, opposition may start protest. If we don't do it this way, then that's where they begin to consider there is opposition. But today, everybody, remember when people joined Labour Party, they said these two people tweeting in a room, nobody took him serious, nobody cares about whatever they are saying, they just brought some propaganda to keep him busy, and they keep moving. It was when the election result came out that they said he scored 6-point-something million votes. They started taking Peter Obi serious. Those who said he's one person in a room tweeting now wants him to work with them in their political party. So that is what it is. So they can't take opposition serious if they are just sitting in their comfort zone tweeting, or when there is any event, they come out there, they give a jab of 2 minutes to the ruling party. Then that's not opposition. Go to United States and see what is happening. The moment President Trump brings out any policy, you will see some judges issue injunction to stop him. Not just that, you will see the Democrats organizing protests. That's why at times you see protests across the whole 50 states. At times you see protests in Washington, see protests in some states. Opposition, parties, the blue states, the Democrat states will begin to host all kinds of activities, setting people up to do, protests to keep government on their toes. You saw what's happening with ICE and deportation. You see how they organize, people, and they were kind of infringing on the movement of ICE teams and stuff like that. Then the president has to send his main man there to go and negotiate and see how they can, because 2 people have been killed already. So you see that. So the point I'm trying to make here is that I'm not asking people to go and start, protesting, destroying things or anything. No. During 2014 election, before 2014, since 2012, Jonathan removed subsidy at that time. The APC, they did protest. They formed themselves as CNG, Save Nigerian Group, SNG, right? Man, Ganifa Wemi Square and all those Ojota area, and all, they were doing protest for days. Nobody shot them. They even carried a coffin with Jonathan's picture on it, that Jonathan is dead to them. And so they did all kinds of stuff. Nobody disturbed them. They did their protest for days and stuff like that. That's APC for you. They are the protest people. So I don't understand why, when people are now coming out to protest, they shoot them canisters, shoot them tear gas, shoot them, water cannon and what have you. But they are the protest party. And they know it is the right of every Nigerian to protest. So why are they afraid? Let them do what is right. Do the right thing. Citizens will support this party. And I've said it clearly that Nigerians, they are not interested in political party. That's why when Peter Obi joined Labour Party, they followed him there. They just believe in people. So when the government is doing the right thing, I bet you Nigerians, even in other opposition party, will vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But they are not feeling the impact of the government. What Nigerians care about is that he bought a mudu of rice, 300 naira last month. This month, he went back. He bought it 150. That's what they want to know. They don't care about your macroeconomics. They want the micro, the one that trickles down to them. That he bought fuel for his car, 800 naira last 2 weeks. He went there 2 weeks after. He bought it at 500 naira. They will now say, hey, things are changing. They want to feel it. They're not feeling anything government is saying. Oh, foreign reserve has rose to, is it 40 something billion or whatever the CBN governor was saying the other day. They don't care, because if it has risen to 50 billion, how does it impact his life or her life? That is the question. So these people should leave that high horse, come low to the things that, bothers the people, and begin to focus on it. Now, you say, oh, the government is doing their best for security. The question is, for the past 1 week, how many kidnapping took place? How many communities were laid and attacked? That is the question. That's how you measure yourself. If you are saying your investment in security is working, the number of attacks should be dropping. The number of kidnappings should be dropping. The number of bandits arrested, killed, or should be increasing. That's the way you to show people that the result is happening. When you say, oh, inflation has come down to this, what is the price of products? That is the point. That even in America, the government will say that inflation is now 1.7%. When you go to the store, that's where you know, has it dropped or not. Few grocery you buy, $400, you'll be wondering what happened. So people are not yet feeling it, because when you go to the stores to buy grocery, you will see that you are spending more for little. That is the point. But paper figure is coming down, but physically it's not. People are still experiencing high cost of products. These are the issues. So that's what government should focus on. See how the macro will link to the micro. So when you look at the whole thing that's going on within the system, you understand where some of this, wars coming from Peter Obi and the rest of them is coming from. So opposition parties need to wake up. You need to get stronger. You need to learn to march out of the street when the government is not doing the proper things. Make your, words be heard. That is how opposition works. You don't sit at home and be talking. You don't be hosting press conferences or be sitting down and be tweeting on every social media platform. No, you must learn to put your, face out there on the street. When you guys at the top comes out, you motivate the citizens to join, because when they go alone, they shoot them canisters. That's why most of them are afraid to go out, and they arrest most of them too. So I do hope that it's not about talking, it's about doing what they are saying. So they should go back home. And for me, I would recommend that all the opposition parties unite together as one opposition, and let other parties not bring out any candidate. Let all the opposition parties come together, agree on one candidate that will be coming out, either from ADC or whichever party, but one candidate. Let it be that candidate versus APC. Let no other presidential candidate come out. All the opposition, collapse yourself, come together as one, and then bring out one candidate. It will now be that opposition party's candidate versus APC candidate. Let's see how it plays out. So when most Nigerians will now support that one candidate brought by the opposition party, whichever platform it will be at that time, because this one they are trying to deregister ADC, we don't know what is going to play out. So that one candidate versus APC candidate, we don't know whether it will be Tinubu and all that. So, but We will see what plays out between now and 2027. When you have that kind of system, then it will be Nigerians versus the opposition party. Then we will see what the result will be. And also, when voting is done, completed, counted, registered from EC8A, the INEC official must transmit that result from that polling unit. So that clause they put, if there is no network, there must be network. But also, I know they will see shutdown server again. You will see what will happen. So because they are too desperate to retain power, they are too desperate to remain in power. But it's only God who will know or determine who will be there in 2027. Most of these things we are doing, we don't even know who will be alive by then during the election. Nobody knows. I remember somebody that said that he will not support Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he will make sure, he will work against him and make sure that he loses this election. Less than 2 or 3 months after that statement, the person died. So he will not even be there at that time of the election. So most of these things we are doing, we don't even know who will be there by 2027 February to do the voting, or who will even be the candidate by then. So we leave everything to God and see how it plays out. So when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But the opposition need to wake up and do the right thing. Look at the election in FCT. You are claiming that they rig you out in FCT. What did you do? Nothing. No protest, no marching, no demanding for how the result came out and all that. We see mutilated result sheets and stuff like that. So what do you do? Why didn't you people put some people in a collation center? Why didn't you people have people in all the polling booths? Why didn't you people have people in all the locations where election will be collated? When Wike was moving around, where were you people when there is curfew in Abuja? When curfew was declared in Abuja because of the election, what did you people say? Nothing. So all these things coming at the end to come and cry will change nothing. You need to do what you're supposed to do at the right time. That is the point. So guys, I don't know, but I think it's going to be more crazier as we are getting close to that 2027 election. But the way they are going now in terms of trying to assassinate, opposition members and all these things, I don't know how toxic this political space will be between now and 2027. But it's unfortunate that evil like this happen and government does nothing. Nobody is held accountable when people's life are at risk. When people want to shoot down a venue where people are hosting an event, is something that we cannot encourage. So I do hope that the government will conduct investigation in that Edo issue to find out who are the culprits and to find out who sponsored them to do that, so that we nip these kind of things in the bud. That's going to be my submission. So guys, I'm going to let this slide there. So my comment section is open for you to put in your comment in my comment section. Whatever you feel concerning these issues that is going on currently in Nigerian political space, please kindly put it in the comment section. And we're going to debate more on it. All right. So guys, I'm going to be signing out from here. But if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. I'm going to call it a day from here, but I'm going to say one more thing. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and I appreciate your support for clicking that subscription button. I'm going to see you in my next video. I'm signing out. See ya.